Your Storm Alert forecast with meteorologist Caiden Dinkins.
A tornado warned area here this morning until 5:45. This warning is in place. We've been tracking this for about the last 45 minutes now. Dudley, Eula, Clyde, Baird, that's kind of where a lot of the system is heading. So continue to seek shelter, stay in your safe places here this morning. That's going to be your best place to be. And no confirmed tornado here this morning, just seeing some possible rotation in there and also a very large hail core here, dropping very large hail, likely 2+ inches here this morning. That is very damaging hail. This is going to continue off towards the Stevens area, not looking for much signs of weakening, unfortunately. As you can see here towards Baird, though, that is where we're starting to see that storm pass. So y'all probably had a lot of rainfall there. Now it's getting a little bit more quiet, thank goodness. But now this storm is continuing to head off towards the eastern area, Stevens and Breckenridge. Cisco, you're likely getting some of that heavier rain now. Flash flooding could be very possible in many places over the next 24 hours. So let's get into what we're going to see. We have that dry line here, which creates a lift, but we're also going to get a cold front today. That's also going to create a lift. By around 2 o'clock, we're going to start to see storms forming off towards the west. Then they're going to continue as this front continues to dip down. We're going to really need to pay attention to where this front kind of stays. You can kind of see it here just trailing across our northern counties. And as those storms begin to form off of that cold front, they're likely to become more severe, especially through Wednesday early morning. So we'll have to pay attention to that there. Make sure you have 2 ways to receive alerts. We're going to warm up today. That's going to also increase those chances for severe risk, getting to those mid to upper 80s this afternoon. And it is radar indicated by velocity, wind shear, and also that hook on the radar here. So we'll be paying close attention to that, but it is now kind of again leveled itself out here. We're not seeing this red go too far into the screen, which is showing that velocity, that nice turn of rotation there, mainly just saying kind of edged up, which still means very strong winds. We're seeing these winds kind of bow out of these storms here, causing possibly some damage in these areas. 50 to 55 mile-an-hour gust, an inch hail possible across these areas there. So paying attention to Erie County just outside of Tom Green, but these storms are also staying all across our western side. So that storm just behind it with all those ominous clouds, but ahead of that was very strong winds that was able to knock off 24 rail cars off the tracks just east.
K-Texas meteorologist Caiden Dinkins visited a local elementary school to teach kids about the weather. The science class at Stafford Elementary School was shown wonderful slides to help break down elements of weather events. Using live demonstrations, they got to learn about the weather, climate, and safety.
Base level severe storm is 58 miles an hour, and those wind speeds and or 1-inch hail. So that could be larger as well, but that's what that triggers that storm warning there, or storm watch. And then we have that storm warning getting into considerable, which means when those areas are coming towards us, and we're getting 70+ miles an hour with 1 inch or larger of hail, golf ball size likely. And then we have destructive storms, 80+ miles an hour, 2.75 or baseball size hail. And these will likely trigger alerts on your phone from the National Weather Service. But if you also download our K-Texas weather app, that'll alert you as well. And that's where you can really tell that is where a tornado is about to happen. So they were able to alert those people, luckily. And then that traveled all the way northeast through many other towns as well. So we'll continue to see some updates on that this morning. April overall, we are doing better than we were the last year by almost double of that rainfall total. So since January of this year of 2024, we've seen 6.92 inches, almost 7. And last year at this date, we only saw 3.47. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Mostly clear and pretty warm out there this morning, but still being pretty windy. So all those gusts not making it feel too bad. But by this afternoon, as the sun comes out, it's going to get even warmer, and that wind isn't going to help us too much. It's going to be sunny and hot all the way through Friday with thunder showers possible this weekend, but a lot of those staying away are very light. Good Friday morning, everybody. We're taking a look at our current radar situation here that's going to set things up for this afternoon. We have low pressure systems kind of ranging from all the way from Colorado all the way into Canada, just kind of near the Great Lakes area, and that's stretching a cold front all the way down. That's going to eventually push down into our area this weekend. Ahead of that, we're getting lots of increased moisture, including cloud cover and also pretty gusty winds, so gusting 25+ miles an hour for today. That setup is eventually going to get us to some storms overnight tonight into tomorrow. So the storm risk for today is now kind of stretched a little bit. We're seeing some of our northeast counties now stretched through the Abilene area closer towards San Angelo, but then most of us are going to see that kind of overnight Saturday into Saturday afternoon, which brings us to a much larger storm risk. Almost our whole entire area is covered in this, just besides a few counties closer towards King, Kent, and kind of Stonewall, those areas, but most of us kind of staying within it. So we might go ahead and just treat the whole area like we're under the storm risk. Level 2 out of 5, meaning damaging winds, large hail, and low threat of tornadoes. But our low threat of tornadoes is likely going to be in the afternoon hours for Saturday. We have a 15% chance of hail also across almost all of our whole area. And this hatched area, which again covers almost our whole entire area, is meaning 2 inches or larger of hail. So we could see very severe hail in many of these storms, and much of it becoming isolated with heavy rainfall as well. The dry line is going to affect us today into this evening. That's going to bring us possibly a few showers this afternoon, but most of that is likely going to just be cloud cover with possibly a few sprinkles, maybe some virga is what we call it when it's kind of trickling down, but doesn't make it to the surface, it evaporates before. Then we're going to see that round of storms come through late this evening into early tomorrow morning as this front begins to push through, starting in the west and pushing towards the east. Again, isolated storms. We're not going to see this all over the whole entire area. Then as this front begins to push in, we're going to get another round of storms coming through. That's going to likely be late afternoon into the evening hours. We could have a good break between 12 to 4, so that could mean good news for the air show and some plans outside, but then that storms are going to continue to race across here and likely becoming little bit more widespread as they head through overnight into Sunday early morning. Luckily for Easter plans, we are seeing much more clear conditions. Temperatures today getting to those 80s.